Cheers, and welcome to this week's bonus edition of the Life of a Fit Pro podcast. If you are watching, you might notice a change in scenery. I am taking you with me for my morning walk, and this is something I've been doing since March. I've been trying to walk every morning, getting a little bit of morning sun because that feels really good to me. And it just lets my body get some movement. And I'm gonna be honest, it is so much easier to do when it is light outside and a little bit warm. It's like very warm today. So that has been a really fun way to start most of my days. So I'm taking you with me. All right, this week's topic, I've been thinking about this as I start to enter year 18 of being a fitness professional. And there were points in my fitness professional career where I thought that I would never be like great. It was so hard to imagine feeling very confident as an instructor. It was hard to imagine feeling, I almost want to say like the word mature is coming to mind. I knew I liked it and I knew that people responded well to what I was offering. But I don't know, there was just something I felt like a mentorship would have been really great. But I wanted to put into words what I think makes a great instructor, right? You can have a good instructor. If you show up on time, if you do a little bit of practice or somehow engage with your group, you can be a good instructor. But maybe you want to go next level. Like you want to be great. You want to open your own studio, or apologies, I am walking on a road, so you might hear sounds of cars. I am trying to keep the audio good, but this is how it is. Maybe you want to open your own studio, or you want to, like me, work for yourself because you're realizing that working for somebody else's goals is just not hitting. I got you. All right, so I came up with 6 things that I think make a great instructor. And the first one, if you know me and you've been listening for a while, this will come as no surprise. It's authenticity. It is learning to find and use your own voice. Why is that important? I want to believe otherwise, but for the most part, people are going to be coming to your classes because of you. And I'm not saying that as like a ego thing. It's like big truck. Why is all of us, okay, I have to say this. Most mornings I see very few cars. And of course today I see every single car in the world. I'm also going a little early. Okay, finding and using your own voice. That's a distinction, not just finding, but also using. So it's easy, especially as a new instructor, to sort of emulate other instructors that you have taken classes with, to borrow some of their words and their phrases and their style. But I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it does not suit you. It works for them because that is who they are as a person, but it might not work for you. But here's a little tip for that. You can borrow from lots of instructors and keep what works for you and get rid of what does not. So you can start off by emulating, slightly copying, and eventually that will help you find your own voice. But authenticity is the biggest thing. People are going to come to classes, they're going to come to a class because they have a goal. But they're going to come back to class because of you, because of something that you said or did, or they just become comfortable with your style. And that is so true. They might go take classes from other people, and as well they should, but they're going to come for you. On the lines of that, so I've got 6 things. On the lines of that is presence. So what I mean by this is be here now. Be here now, meaning you, no matter what kind of a day you've had, no matter how hard it was, you have to shake it off, and you have to show up for your people, and you have to look them in the eye. The biggest way that I built presence was moving around during class, reminding myself that it's not just a stage and it's not just like a performance. And good morning. Okay. It's not just a stage, it's not just a performance. It's a class for the people that are in it. You're providing a service and an experience for people. Now, when you're teaching a heavy choreography class, it can be really hard to find the right opportunities to move around the room, but it makes the biggest difference to just sort of go around, give somebody a fist bump, look them in the eye, have like a moment, like a choreography moment. That I feel like really elevates the class experience for your people. So presence. I also found one of the ways to build presence was to really zone in. Like, you are here in this room, you might have to run after class and do a million other things, but for that moment, that's where you are. And you need to be there, watching what's happening, looking for feedback, listening to your people, enjoying the moment. Presence is great. All right, 4 more things. The next one is connection. You have to kind of like people. I feel like that's kind of important. You have to kind of like people, because if you don't, it shows. Like, I've been to classes where there are instructors who obviously are like in it for something else. They're in it for, I don't want to say money because that can't be true, but they just don't seem to like people. And that is such a big turnoff. Like, there's nothing worse than going to a class and feeling like the instructor hates you. I've had that happen. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? Nothing. You did nothing wrong. They just aren't being present and they aren't creating connection. So within that connection, one of the things I try to do is be available 10 minutes before or 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after class for those little conversations so people can come up to you. Being approachable within that really helps with connection, because if people feel like they can't come up to you, they might not be coming back to your class. So giving the space, just being there, giving space so that people can come up to you, ask questions, chit chat, whatever it might be. Creating that real connection will take you from being an okay instructor to a great instructor. Motivation is another big one. So not just like, we can do it. I mean, those little phrases help, honestly. Sometimes they're for the instructor. If you hear us say something, it's for us. And you're welcome. You get to be in the space and hear those words as well. But like real motivation, not just keep going, guys, but getting up next to somebody in a boot camp class and holding your hand in a certain space and saying, all right, bring your knee to that hand, bring your knee to that hand, right there, keep going, keep going. Individualizing your motivation. Whew, y'all. That is, I feel like it's windy here. That is really hard in a group class, but if you learn to do that, that takes you to being a great instructor, providing like individualized motivation. All right, I've got 2 more. The next one is cueing. Learning your visual, your verbal cues. I have gotten my cue sets down to such a science that I'll do a tiny little like motion or movement with my hand, and the people in the front row know already what's going on. They're like, I already know what your next move is. I'm ready for you. You have to be like a couple moves ahead of everybody else, which does mean that your head has to be in the game, and you have to be prepared to serve different types of cues for different types of learners. Visual, audio, kinesthetic, like move your body, slap a leg, whatever it might be. The more that you learn different types of, and here comes a garbage truck. You've got to be kidding me. We'll pause for the garbage truck. Oh my God. I swear it's never this busy when I'm walking in the morning, ever, literally ever. Okay. When you learn really good cueing for different types of learners, that will elevate your class so much. And I've got one more, and I might not be doing this on a walk anymore because this has been a very noisy day. The last one is education. You've got to be committed to knowledge. You've got to be committed to bettering yourself. You've got to be committed to learning more for your clients. So reading articles, keeping up on certifications, attending conferences or workshops, even learning new modalities. Sometimes I'll take a new modality just for the sake of learning some new elements, some new physicalities, something different. Or honestly, for the sake of like remembering what it's like to be brand new, a beginner at something, because you're gonna have people that are coming to your classes who are beginners. And it's important to put yourself in that place to remind yourself, this is what it's like to be brand new at something, not know what the heck is going on. I love doing that. That helps that makes me a better instructor when you can be in embody that same space as somebody brand new. One bonus, or I had 6, but this is a bonus 7. Really getting into, I feel like what made me a better instructor was having like an entry form or like an entry packet for people that were coming to class. What I mean by that is I started really upping my marketing materials, my branding, getting that really solid. So when somebody new comes to class, I have something to hand them at the end of class. Like, thanks so much for coming. You know, here's my card. I usually give them a little pen. I have a little rack card. I'm thinking about making folders. Just a little memento of like, hey, this is proof that you were here today. And I'm so glad that you were. And this is what we're doing. So yeah, I think those elements help take you from a good instructor, an okay instructor, to a great instructor. And my friends, that is with 17 years of experience. So I understand if you're like, what? It takes time. It takes time to really dive into who you are, who you're going to be as an instructor. Give yourself that time, have a little patience, and keep working at it. That's the tea. That's what we got for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this rather noisy morning walk. Like literally, I swear it is never this crowded when I'm walking, which is crazy. But anyway, thanks guys. See you next time. Bye.